Yo guys, what is going on? It is Invin here, and today what I'm going to be bringing to you guys is a video on some of my release tips for Brimstone Sands. Now, these are going to be some quick tips on ways that you can progress and get ahead, whether it's with crafting things, with making a little bit of gold, or just some general tips and tricks that are going to be really nice to know when this update actually goes live. So we're going to jump straight into it. Before we do, if you do want to see more New World content, make sure you drop in a subscribe to the channel. And if you do go on to enjoy today's video and find it useful, please do drop me a like as well, as it massively helps to support my content. Without further ado, let's jump into the first point. So firstly, I wanted to cover Brimstone Sands because the actual zone itself brings with it several new resources to the game, and one of the most important here being the Brimstone itself. Now, the Brimstone will give you sulfur chunks when it is mined, and these will be used to craft sulfur, of which you need 5 sulfur chunks to create 1 piece of sulfur. Now, this is going to be really important because sulfur is going to be needed for crafting the brand new Runeglass gems, as well as the Heartgems, and additionally to this, it can also be used as a crafting reagent in Arcana, so for things like potions, ancient coatings, etc., which we're going to be needing in Brimstone Sands. It can be used for that as well, but obviously the first two, the Runeglass and the Heartgems, are the brand new items which are coming with the Brimstone Sands update, so getting your hands on a bit of this sulfur early doors is going to be super important. It is going to put you ahead whether you want to craft with it, obviously into those Runeglasses and those Heartgems, or if you want to farm a bit of it and then sell it. It's going to be in pretty high demand for the first few weeks, if not the first month or two, because there's not enough for everybody, or there will be, but some people won't want to farm it, others might not know where to get it. So that leads me on to where can you find it. It's going to be in areas near water, or what looks to be water in Brimstone Sands, but in actual fact it's going to be acid pools. Now, there's going to be mobs around here as well, which also kind of guard the Brimstone, so you're going to have to be able to kill the mobs. It is easier if there's more than one player, but of course then you've got to share out the loot. You can easily do it solo though, you just need to be able to obviously kill the mobs and have a little bit of sustain. Avoid the acid where you can dodge through it, so if you are in light armor particularly, this is pretty easy to do. You can kind of dodge roll across to the other side, then dodge roll back, and you won't get a tick of acid, but obviously you can get armed with acid reduction on. The first week or so you might not have that, or the first month or so you might not have that, so do try and just dodge around it. You can walk on any of the rocks as you can see from the gameplay here, and you should be absolutely fine. That's going to be really crucially important because you want to get as much of this as you can early doors to either make a profit or to get ahead with crafting those brand new items. Now that leads us pretty nicely onto the second point which I wanted to cover here, which is going to be about Heartgems and Runeglass crafting. So obviously these are the brand new items, like I've mentioned, that are coming with the Brimstone Sands update, but there are also new materials that are going to be involved with them that are going to be super sought after when this update goes live. Now, whether you want to use them to craft yourself into the Heartgems and Runeglasses, like I've mentioned, or sell them, it's going to be up to you. But an example of this is going to be the wooden coins. These are going to be used to craft the tier 5 Heartgem upgrades, and they will be found in elite chests or in supply stockpiles inside of expeditions only. So the best advice to quote-unquote farm these is going to be to go to your level 60 plus elite zones and try and go for the elite chests within those every time they're off cooldown. So go around and go ahead and grab those, or at least try to grab them from the elite chests. I would imagine for the first few months after this release, a lot of players will be running these elite zones for that exact reason, so hopefully you should be able to find a group even if you don't necessarily have a company to play with. Server-wide groups are not uncommon now, so hopefully you can get involved there and start getting your hands on things like wooden coins. Another thing that's going to be super sought after for the Runeglasses and the Heartgems is going to be charged sand. Now this is obtained from mining the brand new sandstone blocks, which are found in Brimstone Sands of course, and they're generally just all over jotted around the zone. They're kind of a yellowy brick looking thing. Now when you mine these, you'll get sandstone blocks from them, and the sandstone blocks, you need 5 of those to create 1 charged sand. So similar to the sulfur chunks into sulfur, the sandstone blocks into charged sand will be 5:1 ratio. Now 10 charged sand is required for crafting each of the Runeglasses, so the sandstone is going to be super important, and like I said, it is all over Brimstone, but it is quite sporadic, so if you are someone that's willing to go out and kind of farm this up, again, probably players are going to want to buy it, because although you may come across some while you're questing and while you're out doing new things around the zone, unless you're actually exploring and gathering on purpose, you might not be able to find enough, and obviously not every player is going to have enough, so either way you're going to be able to craft these into Runeglasses, which are going to sell for a lot, or you can can just sell the sandstone itself or the charged sand and get a nice profit there. So this is a really, really good one to look out for as well. Now, of course, with this update, we are seeing the introduction of the Greatsword. This is a great pleasure to a lot of players. A lot of people have been really looking forward to this one, but obviously, when this first comes out, not everybody is going to have hands-on with a good one or a best-in-slot one or even just a decent one for PvP. So, if you can craft max-level stuff, we're looking at weaponsmithing 200, and obviously with all of the trophies, the armor set, and the boost with the stats, and of course the housing boost. If you can craft a good one with pure strength or pure dexterity and good perks on it either way, those are going to be super expensive towards the start of the game. So if you are able to craft them, probably try and roll some of those if you can get your hands on the timeless shards early doors, because players are going to want to lap those up incredibly quickly. But one thing that you do really want to look out for here is that with the brand new Nightveil Hallow event, which is the Halloween event, which we're assuming is dropping alongside the update, we haven't had full confirmation, but if it isn't, it'll be basically like a few days afterwards or a week afterwards. This event is going to bring with it a legendary greatsword pattern that comes with Keen. However, this greatsword is dex only, so it's great for a dex build, and of course, if you do want to get your hands on a dex great axe with Keen on, then save yourself for that pattern from the Nightveil Hallow event. But if you are running strength, you're probably still going to either want to roll these if you can, or try and buy a decent one early doors when they might be a bit cheaper. It depends. Watch the prices on your server, but see what you can get. But yeah, he's going to be good for a dex build, not so great for non-dex players. So if you are someone that is able to roll these at maximum gear score, and you can get your hands on some of the timeless shards, albeit they might be quite expensive, if you do roll something even semi-decent, you're probably looking at a very good amount of gold, which is really nice. Now that leads us nicely onto the Nightveil Hallow event itself. Now this event will allow for legendary crafts of every weapon that always come with Keen on. So obviously Keen for some players is really good, other players don't like it so much. Whichever camp you're in is entirely up to you, but of course either these patterns will sell if you do want to go ahead and do the event for them, or indeed you can craft yourself a nice legendary weapon with a very cool Halloween themed aesthetic on it, and then have a guaranteed Keen perk as well as 2 others on there as well. This is a really cool event where you kind of fight an open world boss, and then you receive an ichor or an ichor from killing him, which you then put into a cauldron to receive rewards, and this is basically just a repeatable version. Once you complete the one quest that you get from the quest giving NPC, that will put you up to the maximum reputation level needed. So essentially, once you've done it once, it shows you how to do it, and then you just repeat that. But the first time you do it will give you the rep you need to be able to unlock those legendary patterns, so you can get hands on with those pretty much straight away once you get onto the servers as well. Like I said, we don't know if this event goes live directly at the same time as Brimstone Sands goes live. We're expecting them to be hand in hand, because obviously it makes sense with the time frame, but if not, then it will be very shortly afterwards. So this basically is going to be at the same time. Now if you're watching this video like a couple of months after the launch has gone ahead, and it's past Halloween, it's past the October event there, then unfortunately you may have missed out on these last couple of pointers, but hopefully at the time you did either get some, or if you didn't, maybe you can buy some of the patterns from the auction house now if they are still able to be traded. So that is going to be it for today's video. Hopefully these quick tips and tricks for things on how you can progress once Brimstone Sands releases, or indeed how you can make some gold depending on what you want to do there, have given you some nice ideas of what you might want to focus on when the update goes live. Of course, a lot of us are going to be doing the main story quest in order to unlock access to the heart gem and all kind of other good things like the runes all across Brimstone, but these ones are stuff that I wanted to point out that pretty much everybody can get hands on with if they're a max level player, so level 60. If you're not, there is an XP event going on right now, so do definitely jump onto the servers and get yourself to level 60 in preparation for this update, as it will really help. But hopefully this has given you some good ideas. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave me a like down below, as it massively helps to support my content here on YouTube. And if you do want to see some more New World content, whether it's news and updates or whether it's tips, tricks and guides like today's video, then do drop me a subscribe down below, as I will be covering all sorts of stuff New World related here on the channel. Other than that guys, thank you very much for watching, take care and peace.